we do need to move on to other things right now. Actually, this next part of what we're going to discuss kind of goes back into the earlier subject of competition. However, not in a good way. Angel, I think you know where I'm getting at.
Yes.
Go ahead and take the lead,
Yes,
my
I
man.
do. So, as you know, roughly about half a year ago, a few months ago, in fact, the company of Apple got into a fight with Epic Store Games over their ownership and collaboration with the iconic and ever so bone-crunchingly popular game, Fortnite!
It's the guy from Fortnite!
Oh, God, I hate
Now,
that
as
game.
you know, Fortnite itself actually caught quite a bit of fame recently after they introduced two new character skins to the game, Ryu and Chun-Li. And Chun-Li's got that figure, which means that a bunch of kids that never played or knew about Street Fighter have received their awakening. To be fair, though, she's the first lady of video games. If she didn't have an army of simps behind her, something's gone wrong.
That's
But I
true.
digress.
Yeah.
Long story short, the company of Epic, for those of you who are not caught up with the ideal, got into a fight with Apple. Specifically, they got into a fight with Apple because they did not want to pay the 30% cost required to, advertise their game on the platform. They wanted to put it on their own, and they started doing it without Apple's authorization and consent. This resulted in Apple slapping that shit down so hard that they removed the game from many of their devices. In fact, the phones that now play Fortnite that are from Apple make cost thousands of dollars because they are the only ones in the world that had that game pre-installed.
Holy
Jesus,
shit.
man.
And then it got worse. The director of Fortnite, in what I can only be described as a faux pas of fucking monumental proportions, began to compare this legal debacle of two greedy ass companies with the civil rights movement. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
He directly compared it to that. They even went as far as to make a commercial where they imitated the opening scenes of the 1984 music video. You know, with the people throwing the thing at the screen and all that shit, just to make themselves look better.
You mean the same 1984 music video, which was then made and remade by Apple computers when they were first launching? And they remade that in order to evoke, like, oh, this is in 1984. This is Apple. Or like, if they were
some shit, yeah.
So they remade that as a jab to Apple. Are you fucking kidding me?
Predictably, just to make themselves look good. Now, the average public opinion is split between, no, Epic is at fault here. They agree to the contract and they're basically trying to violate the TOS just to make themselves look good and get more money. And the other half is, I don't give a shit. The two big, greedy, stupid companies are fucking each other over. Great. You know who else gave a shit, though?
So no one's really siding with Apple on this? Apple's just, like, not, like, because you're seeing that people are taking the side of Epic Games, but not of Apple?
Honestly, I think it's more on the lines of nobody wants to take a side because they hate both. Epic Store is a goddamn mess to work through, and their company itself is a goddamn mess, and Apple is Apple. I think ultimately the general consensus boils down to the fact Epic is at fault here, but I hate the other side almost as much, so I'm just gonna sit back and watch them kill each other. And apparently, once again, and I swear I'm getting a little worried how many times this is happening, the government of a country has decided to step in to look into this situation. The UK government, specifically, has announced that the Competition and Markets Authority will respond to complaints that the App Store, which controls what apps can be downloaded on the Apple service and takes 30% of the cuttable payments, may break competition law by launching an investigation into what is determined to be anti-competitive behavior.
Oh my goodness.
What?
What? Anti-competitive behavior?
Anti-competitive behavior? Okay,
Did they elaborate on that?
As quoted on them, they say the CMA's investigation will consider whether Apple has a dominant position in connection with the distribution of apps on Apple services in the UK, and if so, whether Apple is imposing unfair or anti-competitive terms on developers using the App Store, ultimately resulting in users having less choice or paying higher prices for apps and add-ons.
Yeah, this
So
is
they're
all...
essentially saying... Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, no, yeah, I was actually going to say this. You're actually referencing all this from an article that's put up by PC Gamer. On the clip version of this, we're going to go ahead and add this this article to the description as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, obviously, never cited by name, but it's pretty clear that the connection is coming from Epic's crusade against them, who apparently brought the fight to the UK in January. This happened like 3 months ago, and they filed a complaint with the Competition Appeal Tribunal. And apparently they move other moves in the US. Now, mind you, no decision has been made yet whether or not Apple is breaking the law, but the investigation into the wider digital market has been sent into some worrying trends. As they claim to, millions of us use apps every day to check the weather, play games, or order takeaways. So complaints that Apple is using its market position to set the terms that may be unfair or may restrict competition and choice potentially causes consumers to lose out when they buy and use apps, and that warrants careful scrutiny. Now, on one side, it looks like that is possible, but we're going to leave that one on the mom's side because we don't know. The investigation hasn't said anything. What we do know for certain is that ultimately Epic began the aggressions because they purposely violated the terms of services they agreed to, and they're essentially trying to put Apple in a bad light by saying, yo, bro, what if these terms of services are abused by default and deserve to be violated? Essentially, Epic is saying, we broke the law, but what if this law is so bad that it should be looked into and deserves to be broken?
Okay, the trouble with
Don't
argument,
be fooled. The point here is money. But that's the argument they're bringing forward. Let's not delude ourselves into thinking that there's some higher moral cause here, motherfucker.
We've actually
Bullshit.
We've actually got Geeks 5 Ever on the chat saying I'm late, but I'm here. How's it going,
Hello,
guys?
Geeks.
Glad you're able to join us.
Glad you're able to join us. We're currently talking about the legal battle between Apple Incorporated and Epic Games.
Now, the one thing here is that means that the UK commission that's working on this, they're going to have to clearly define what practices constitute abuse to developers and to people who want to put their product on the App Store platform. They have to say, like, okay, what part of this is abusive? Are they saying that? Are they putting an unjust clause for exclusivity? Are they charging too much? Are they asking for something that's unreasonable for this company to be able to work or to be able to survive? Like, oh, hey, you just created the Fulano app, whatever the fuck. And you want to put it up on App Store? Absolutely. We got 75% of your profits. You can only sell it through us. You're locked into that for 19,500 years. And you will get a penny for every 5 million iPhones get sold with your app pre-installed in there. Just sign on the dotted line. Give me a minute.
Jesus, why don't you take my girlfriend and take my lunch money while you're at it?
I already took your girlfriend. I married her, and your lunch money has already been sent to my Cash App. Now, give me a minute. This is a fountain pen, but it's out of ink. Just give me your finger here. Actually, no, your wrist will probably do better. I'm just typing right
Remember,
there.
do it across.
And you can just go ahead and just sign that with your blood. Sign.
I'm getting lightheaded.
Just eat an orange. You'll be fine. And we're done. Nice going business with you.
Your next of kin will be properly notified when the contract comes into play. Exactly. Now, to be fair, as far as we know, Apple's terms seem to be fairly simple here. You work with us, you put it on our phones, and you get profit. What we want is 30% of your cut. That's it. They're not stopping them for putting it in any other console or service. What they're saying is basically, you do not sell it on the phone over any other service that is in our service. And then they did, on purpose, without telling anybody. And that's where Apple goes, excuse me, what the fuck is this shit? And then Epic decided to basically tuck its tail between its legs, and they've been playing victim the entire time. But ultimately, this is literally big corporation works with big corporation number two. Number two tries to screw over number one. Number one slaps the shit out of number two and puts number two in dire fucking straits. And number two is now trying to play victim. Let's not forget, Apple purposely removed Fortnite from their devices because they can afford to do that. Meanwhile, like fucking 60% of the fan base of Fortnite plays on phones. So that took a very nasty slice out of Epic's profits. They kind of strangled the golden goose with that one. You know what I'm saying? They choked the chicken a little too hard and it turned into a shaky weight. And
my real
metaphor is not
here,
going anywhere. I'm sorry.
So no, you're all right. You may choke the imaginary chicken all you wish. Nobody's going to stop you. That's part of who you are. But the one thing that I'm wondering here is how much of that is really causing a sizable dent in Epic Games. You got to remember, this is Fortnite, for fuck's sake. This game is is like the online version of Chuck E. Cheese now in terms of throwing money into a bottomless pit and never seeing it ever again. It's making money like crazy. And I'm just wondering exactly how much of this is really affecting the bottom line of Epic Games.
Let's find out.
I must admit, I'm a novice when it comes to Epic Games. I don't follow that stuff, namely because the memes are cringy as hell, and I don't want to have anything to do with them. I prefer my sanity to be taken from me in exchange for money. That's why I take a straight job.
Yeah.
So
okay, so as of now, based on the most recent statistic check, there is a total of 350 million players of Fortnite. Of those, 160 million played in phones. So they kind of cut their profit margins in half doing this.
Wow.
So it's sizable. But this isn't the only game they put out, though,
Yeah.
is it?
It is, but Epic Store is not known for doing. Let me tell you the list of games that they made.
Oh boy.
Let me find it.
Alright.
Give me a second.
This is gonna be
I
funny.
want to check this out so I don't fuck this up. Epic Games creator, they've worked in CCT, Castle of the Winds, Jazz Jackrabbit, Jill of the Jungle, Kane's Labyrinth, Zargon, Dare to Dream, Traffic Department, Solar Wind, Silver Ball, Highway Hunter, Adventures of Robo, Epic Pinball, Firefight, Age of Monsters, Electroman, One Must Fall. They are known most popularly for working on the Unreal Tournament series, which hasn't had an installment since 2014. Their engine was used for Homefront and Spec Ops: The Line. They also developed and supported the Gears of War series, which ended in 2013. They haven't done anything new ever since. And recently, they published Shadow Complex, Infinity Blade, Bulletstorm, Duty Calls, Paragon, Fortnite, and Robo Recall. Of all these games, Fortnite is the only one that has consistently gotten the money and is still going. All the other ones were released, well, at the latest in 2014. So since 2014, Fortnite has been, which came out in 2017, has been pretty much the one thing that sticks with them. Everything else has already been gone, or whatever studio was publishing it more or less completely crapped out the series.
Wow.
So they were pretty much unknown, and even during their most popular phase in Gears of War, people barely even actually knew who they were until they rebranded themselves as the Epic Game Store with Fortnite. So their biggest success before this was essentially Gears of War, and that one has been gone for some time now.
Holy shit! So yeah, this is their lifeblood at this point. Real quick,
Yeah,
Geeks 5 Ever on the YouTube chat. We shall steal the cast of this show and sign them to a contract. We will give y'all anything: money, women, men, or chickens. I don't judge. LMFAO. I hope you understand. Like we come as a team and we have a very sizable contract package, so we're gonna have to work that out, buddy.
Yeah.
Listen,
We are
before
a
every,
package deal,
before
and
every
we don't
stream,
come cheap.
I want a bowl of M&Ms, and I want all the M&Ms to be blue specifically. If I find a single green one there, my agent's going to have some words with you.
That shouldn't be a problem. Blue M&Ms for Angel for all eternity. Okay?
Exactly.
I've got a family to uphold, so you're going to have to give me enough income to support them for at least the next 50 years. And as for Jose, well,
Just throw money at me, honestly. Just throw money at me, and then we'll
literally
be
grab a sack of cash and just go, here.
yeah, pretty much.